Hi angels, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are doing Battle of the Pens episode 3. So we are comparing two erasable pens, the frixion ones and ones from Temu that I recently just got. So if you want to see more Battle of the Pens, make sure to subscribe, hit the bell so you never miss another one of my videos. And let's just get straight on into this battle and see which erasable pen is better for you and overall. So first off, we have the Pilot Frixion pens. I have been using these pens since I was in 4th grade because there was no real other erasable pen but the frixion ones. I did do another Battle of the Pens. My very first one was against frixion versus Parku, and I said you guys should buy the Parku. Update, you should not buy the Parku pens. They don't write. Like, you'll write for them with them for like a couple weeks and then you'll still have ink. Like, the ink is very long lasting, but then it just like runs out. Like, it just stops writing. So I don't know if the tip is messed up or what it is, but do not buy those pens. Everyone literally says it. But the frixion ones honestly are really nice. The only thing I will say is they're crazy expensive for pens. They are erasable, but when you erase it, it leaves like this little residue. Most of them do, most erasable pens do, but this one just specifically, I don't even know. The packaging, I will say though, is very like heavy and you can tell that it's like a good quality pen. I do like that it has like a little bit of a jelly tip type thing, like, you know. The only problem is, number one, I said it was expensive, but number two, the ink runs out super fast. And do they have ink refills? Yes, but is it expensive? So I have been looking for a frixion dupe because they're just so freaking expensive. They do have a lot of color options. Obviously, they've been around for a really long time. I also feel like I'm gonna test it out on rocketbooks. They're really good for rocketbooks. Another thing is, though, it does dry really slow. Like, it's really easy to smear if you're left-handed. But erasable pens are really nice for when you're, I don't know, just like in your algebra class and you need to erase something. Like, that's what I use them for mostly. I used to use them for literally everything. And then, I don't know, I feel like when I would erase, it'd rip through my pen, like my paper, because it was too much. So overall, I love frixion pens. I think they're amazing quality, but there needs to be a cheaper option because they're so expensive, you guys, but I love them so much. And the colors are so vibrant and like it erases well, but at the same time, it just kind of rips through my paper when I erase it, or it leaves like a little residue. Like, I don't even know how to tell you. The thing that I do like is they don't have just these like 0.7 millimeter pen, like ballpoint pens. They also have a 0.5 millimeter. They also have fine liners. They also have highlighters. Their highlighters are amazing. If anything, get the highlighters over these pens. The highlighters are literally amazing. But they have so many options, that's what I'm saying, because they've been around and they're more established than like the Temu ones. And as you can tell, they kind of have like minimal ghosting, so kind of surprised. But overall, I do love these pens and I would recommend them. They're just pricey. So next up, we have the Temu erasable pens. Obviously, the problem with Temu is like not everyone knows about Temu, and obviously if you buy the Pilot frixion ones on Amazon, they're gonna deliver faster than Temu. But I am obsessed with Temu lately. I did a whole haul. That's where I found these erasable pens and I loved them. I don't know the brand. I will say, I forgot how much this is, but I'm pretty sure for this pack it was like either from $3 to $6 for these pens. Where if you get the same pack from a frixion pens, they're literally like, oh my gosh, $15 or maybe, yeah, $15. They're crazy expensive, but they, you know, you can find them anywhere. You can find them at Target, you can find them on Amazon, you can find them at Walmart. Like, they're literally everywhere. Whereas like the Temu ones, yeah, no, they're kind of just on Temu. I don't know if there's like an actual brand, so I'm just gonna call it Temu pens. The only thing about this pen is that it is cheap feeling, but like that doesn't really bother me because I'm just trying to find a good pen. I will say I've been using the purple one more, and then the purple like cap literally like broke. So that's one thing to keep in mind. The packaging is kind of cheap. The colors are very similar. I do think they're a little bit more muted compared to the frixion one. I don't know if it's like the ink from the frixion one just kind of comes out more, but the way the Temu ones write are kind of better. Like, they're a lot smoother. They don't leave as much residue when you erase it, and they're more precise. And they're, I don't know if they're the 0.5 or 0.7. I'm thinking 0.7. But I honestly really love these pens. I haven't had problem with the ink not flowing the right way. I haven't had problem with any of that. It writes really well on paper. So I think this is an amazing option compared to the Rocketbook ones. Again, it's just like accessibility is kind of like, oof, how are you going to get this if you've never shopped on Temu? Or if you want to get it the next day, you really can't because it's only on Temu. But the pricing is amazing. Like, it is too good. So I would think about that, but let's test it out on a Rocketbook. So if you don't know what a Rocketbook is, it's pretty much like you write with an erasable pen, and then you could take your notes, you take a picture of it, and then you can erase them, and then you don't have to like use physical paper. I really like this. The only downside is like it's kind of like plastic, so any erasable pen smears so bad. Like, you have to let it dry like crazy. I will say, I just looked up the prices for the Temu pens, and it's an 8-pack for $4.18. That is a steal, you guys. I don't even care that these the packaging is cheap, because it writes so much better. As far as smearing, I already said Temu pens write smoother. Like, the ink just feels nice, and like the eraser is denser than like the Pilot ones. And they also don't smear as much. That is my next statement. They do not smear when you write it on actual paper. The thing with Rocketbooks is that everything smears on it because you have to let it dry because it's plastic. So here's me showing you the difference between the smearing, like right after I did it, right? When I put the smearing from the Pilot frixion ones, it smears more. Like, the erasable pen smears more than the Temu ones. So right now, I'm saying this is a dupe or an even better option for you. But I feel as if this could honestly change over time, just like the Parku pens, because the Parku pens were so good other than like the tip was really flimsy. But the Temu pens are kind of looking good. As far as it coming off, the Pilot ones come off faster than the other ones, so also keep that in mind when you're doing your research on these pens. Personally, I'm recommending the Temu ones over the Pilot ones, but again, this one, for some reason, like, the pens are very similar, and I think that's really nice, but the biggest comparison has to be the fact of literally the pricing. You have something that's $4.20 pretty much to something that's like $15 for an 8-pack or whatever. So really keep that in mind when you are thinking about which one you want to buy, if you want to buy any of them, if you want to get into erasable pens. So let's compare a little bit deeper between these two. Like I mentioned, the price point is a really big thing. The packaging, honestly, the packaging is different. One's a clicker one, one's just like take off the lid, whatever. So the packaging is different. I did say that the Temu ones are lighter feeling. They feel cheaper. I used one of them for a little bit and then it cracked like the lid did. That's not that big of a deal for me. If it is for you, think about that. But when it comes down to the nitty gritty of things, the Temu one is just like, it's a better choice. Not like just price point wise. You get 8 pens for $4.20 pretty much, $4.18, and like frixion ones are super expensive. The ink runs out super fast, and from what I can see, the Temu ones don't. So those are things to think about. The ink is better on the Temu ones. They don't smear as much, but the frixion one kind of, I don't even know, like it just smears. It's more expensive. The packaging is nicer, but there are so many other frixion products you could buy. Like their highlighters, literally amazing. I would get those over the pens, honestly, and then I would get the Temu pens. The problem with the Temu pens is you can only get them on Temu. So if you don't want shipping to be like 5 days or more, usually I think they changed it to 5 days. It used to be 10 days, now it's 5 days. If you care about shipping, then obviously you could go and get the frixion ones on Amazon, Target, Walmart. I've talked about this. They're really accessible compared to the Temu ones. But the Temu ones, again, are $4.20, and they always have some sort of discount. Like, I love Temu. Ever since I did that haul, it's been amazing. The packaging, like I said, they're kind of completely different. The Temu ones do feel cheaper, but honestly, it's not that bad. Like I said, frixion, more expensive. There's more colors, more variety, so try to find other things other than these pens, because I'm kind of leaning more towards the Temu ones. Temu, more affordable. There's not as many colors though. It's just the colors that come in the pack. The ink is better, meaning there's less smearing. So take all of these things into consideration, figure out which one you would want to buy, and let me know in the comments which pen won this battle for you. And with all that said, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell so you never miss another one of my videos. I post every Sunday, so make sure you stay tuned for next Sunday's video, because I promise you guys it will be an amazing one. And also let me know which pen you are considering getting, or if you want to get any of these. So, see you guys next Sunday. Bye, guys.